I've got a couple of last few clips to play. And in these clips, I like to call these are people who vote. And there was one guy, if you ever heard of the Good Liars do great work. They're kind of like Jordan Klepper, who is from The Daily Show and goes and interviews these Trump supporters, whether it be at CPAC or Trump rallies, the convention, wherever it is. Well, the Good Liars were out there and they were talking to this guy who was had a little costume on and think it's hilarious. This is also the kind of this game that you play I would also call this, if you saw this guy on the street, what you'd want to do to him, because he's a fucking little dickhead. But this is the Good Liars with this guy who just thinks this little costume of his is hilarious.
Do you work for ICE?
No, not at all. Nope.
Explain the outfit.
It's $29.99 on Amazon. I would recommend buying a small if you're my size. This one's a little too loose for my liking. But yeah, if you want some entertainment, wear this and go to a Home Depot in a sanctuary city like where I live right now, Washington, D.C., and you'll see all the illegals. Not all of them, but you can maybe see a lot of them start to run away. And you feel like a group fitness instructor. It's really good.
And you actually think that's funny?
I think it's hilarious. Absolutely. What's not funny is them illegally...
There you have it, everybody.
Yeah,
one of the worst people I've seen here at CPAC, and that's saying something. Appreciate it.
Yeah, one of the worst. I'm sorry, I cut that off at the end. He said one of the worst people I've seen here at CPAC. And again, I truly want to ask people out there, who finds this funny? And I know there are a lot of people who do. And I know some people, they're laughing at me. They're like, oh my God, look at this libtard losing his mind because some guy dressed up in an ICE thing and said, let's go to Home Depot and freak people out. And the funny part is that these are the same people who will go to church on Sundays, or they'll talk to me about Jesus and religion and how great Jesus is. I will guarantee you, if that guy with the ICE costume on was one of these phony Christians, I guarantee you that if Jesus came down, stood right next to him at that very point, he would change his entire tune. And if he didn't, then he's not really a religious person. And quite frankly, a lot of those people who think that stuff is kind of funny, I don't want to hear about you and your religion because I don't believe you. I don't believe that you're an actual religious person who believes in the Bible and believes in Jesus. I personally don't believe in any of that stuff, but there are a lot of people that I've met in my life who do take it seriously and use that to become better people. And I can be behind that all day. But this fucking guy, this is the country that we're living in now. And this is the humor, I guess, that Elon Musk wanted to bring back. But we're bringing up Jesus, and sort of on the opposite side, as I was saying, these are the people who vote out there, folks. And this, just the first person you'll hear, but the second person kind of goes in line with what I was just talking about. So let's take a look at the interview and then we'll wrap up the show.
He's not going to get angry. He's got too much to fix. He's not a vengeful person.
I mean, you think about Jesus Christ himself. Everybody went against him because he was preaching love and doing what was right for the people. And Trump's doing what's right for this nation. And because he's doing that, everybody is against him.
These are people who vote. This guy just compared Donald Trump to Jesus Christ. And he's not a one-off. There are a lot of them out there that do this. And to me, this is really, really concerning. And it's really scary. Quite frankly, again, I've said before, I don't give a fuck who you vote for. Vote for whoever you want to. But when you vote for somebody, have the knowledge as to why you're voting for them. Understand what it is exactly that you're voting for. I've talked to many Trump supporters, and if you could change my mind and get me to understand exactly what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing for this country is so great, I'm all ears. But I've heard a lot of their arguments, and none of them have convinced me. Like literally none, because a lot of the times I ask them, wow, that's pretty interesting. Can you send me specific proof on what exactly that you're talking about? And guess how many times I've gotten that specific proof? Zero. Even when they do send me something, it has nothing to do with what they just told me. And I even pointed out to them, specific lines in the article or the video or whatever. I was like, what does that have to do with what you just told me? This has nothing to do with what you just told me. Or it's very, very vague about what they told me. And the sources are things that I've never heard of in my life. I can source everything. I can prove everything. Now I know we're in a country now where we have been programmed, or at least some of us have been programmed, that if it's a source that daddy says is fake news, and that's pretty much every source now that is considered mainstream media or legacy media or whatever it is, you are not allowed to trust anything any of them say. And that's, again, strategic. They do this shit on purpose so they can get these followers to believe whatever the fuck it is that they say.